Welcome back to my channel, guys. I've definitely been wanting to make this video because I thought, one, it was something that's needed from a different perspective of what I've actually been seeing. Two, it's something that I think after waking up on Thursday, I think it was Thursday or Friday, the world was in an uproar. And with that being said, I thought, say something because some of the outlets of what I've been seeing, from the Flaming Rose to the T.S. Madisons to the Hope Giselles to I think it's the King of Tea. I think it's the King of Tea. A lot of it just hasn't sat well with me. I love Hope Giselle. I love T.S. Madison. I love their outlooks. I just wanted us to start coming from a different place, maybe a place of love, a place of understanding. And because I had a lot of my female cisgender women, and it's actually the King of Reads, I apologize. My cisgender friends reach out to me. They reached out to me asking me for understanding. By the title, you probably know right now, this is about the cisgender, transgendered. Jess Hilarious coming out saying that who's going to stand up for real women, who's going to stand up and let transgender women know that, you know, they can never be them. And she went on to say this whole thing of that, you know, what's the difference between a trans person or a transgender woman and somebody in a straitjacket? Basically implying that they were somewhat psychologically not there or needing to be restrained in some sort. And I have a lot of straight cisgender women, and I've already explained to them the cisgender thing, so I'm going to explain it to you, to a couple of you. That does not mean that you are not a real woman. It is a scientific term that is actually correct in describing, meaning that you were born woman, you were born with all female parts. But again, it's a difference between sexual identity and sexual orientation and things like that. And I think that's where everybody's getting a little confused. But T.S. Madison said it well, very, very well, that a lot of, let's just say, straight women or real women don't understand that these women, transgender women, whether they've been in transition for 14, 15, 20, 25, 30 in some cases, when you're thinking about like a T.S. Madison, these women understand that whether they're pre-op or post-op, that they have genitalia, from their male side. So some of them still have a penis. And I think what the confusion is that some women are feeling attacked. And a lot of women that contacted me felt like, help me understand this. And as a person that has always been pro-woman, I don't care if you're transgender, cisgender, real woman, fake woman, whatever you want to call it. For me, it's always been to help bridge that gap. And that's what I want to do now. I don't think transgender are there small, because I want to be correct. Are there small percentage of trans women that make comments or make jokes that may warrant a different perspective from cisgender or real women? Absolutely. It's the same when you go into the world of gay men and messing with DL men. Some gay men do not do that, but there's a small percentage that actually love chasing that type of man. I do not think that is for the entire community. I don't think that is something that the entire community is open and saying, yes, we, or the transgender community are saying, hey, we want to be real women. We want to birth children. We want a period, things like that. From all the trans women that I know, and I know a lot of them, they do not say any of that. If anything, I think where the cross is being mistaken is there are transgender women that absolutely adore cisgender or real women. that's who they're emulating, you know? And I think maybe there's a little bit of, I'm just gonna go on the limb. Maybe there's a little bit of envy, and it's not about the genitalia. I think that there is, you reap the benefits of being everything a bad bitch could be, but you don't go through the periods, you don't birth children, but you get all the pros, but you have none of the cons. And not saying that birthing children or having a period is a con, but what I'm saying is, it seems like, from what I'm hearing, it seems like the women are upset at some things. Even though some women are like, take that period, have them babies, don't nobody want that. I think that there is a little bit of envy, a little bit of resentment of like, oh wow, you. And I think a lot of times a lot of real women try to spray transgender women with their tea of saying you were a man, or you were once a man, and I think that's the lowest blow. But I think this whole subject is much deeper, and I've been saying this for years. It's just now I'm turning on the camera to actually say it. I think in the Black community, we have such a hard time dealing with change, being okay with not being like our oppressors, not being like them in a way of not acting in love. And I only say that because I know we act in love, because as a gay man, all of the women in my life, all of the men in my life are so respectful, so receptive to who I am and accepting to who I am. And these are people that probably before me weren't like this. But I've seen a change in them, and I've seen something new in them, and I've seen that they love me for me. And I think if we as a community, and you're talking to a gay man that in a lot of sense did not understand trans, sometimes I still don't understand it. But for me, I act with love, and I act with, I'm minding my damn business because it ain't nothing that affects me, truly. But if I can take a time out to research a couple of videos, look up a couple of YouTubes, listen to Hope Giselle, T.S. Madison, not listen to fucking Flame Monroe, but listening to these prominent women that can break it down to you, and tell you some of the shit that you're probably hearing is probably just because you just don't know. And I think because we're not acting out of love, because it's this thing of fear, and let's be honest, in the Black community, the worst thing you could probably be is gay, let alone transgender. That it's like the lowest of the low in our society. But I'm going to speak from a place that is very true to me. And I want my people, even if this video gets 2 views and it makes me a little emotional. I have been in so many different communities, Latino communities, Spanish communities, especially these two, and they're so accepting. Like, it's not about what they care about, what they feel. It's just the fact that they actually embrace each other. And I know this probably is like, what? What does that have to do with us? We are the same, but for some reason we have lost the authentic and true beings that we really are. We are lovers. We are loving people. You see it every time we get amongst each other, but I think we've just got to a point where we're so afraid of being different that if you hear people say it all the time, if Black people just would unite, we would be so powerful. And it's something as small as this, which is big, but as small as just accepting a person for who they are. And I don't want to go on the defense, because I can go into attack and be like, oh, y'all love these no good ass dudes that be doing this and doing that. And I think so much of that is indoctrinated indoctrinated inside us, that we don't even know that we are carrying this hateful bone. And I I've had many conversations with family members, and my family doesn't really, my family is a hardcore family, but they have just learned to just embrace me and love me, and we've never had issues where I've seen my other friends and family people or family members have a lot of issues. These transgender women are not against y'all. And I think that's what is throwing me off about the whole situation. When I woke up, it was so many hateful comments. Facebook, people going this, people, I got trans women on my page. I got cisgender women on my page. It's just women, everybody just going at it. And it was the first time in a long time that I was just like, wow, And it took me a couple of days. You see, I'm emotional. It took me a couple of days to even gather my thoughts for right now. And I just want us to do better. This isn't this whole thing of an agenda and this and that. People have been being gay, y'all. People have been loving each other, that y'all just were not seeing it. And that's where I have a problem, is that I always tell people I will never be tolerated, ever. And I think that's what a lot of the Black community tries to do, is tolerate. Like, I'm gonna tolerate you because it's you're not affecting me and things like that. And I think y'all have to start looking at, and I'm accepting, so I'm not speaking to myself. Y'all have to start looking at it, because y'all want to be accepted when it comes to white people. And as many of y'all probably gonna be like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. You want to be accepted. You try your best. You go into these corporate companies and you code switch. Yes. But you leave, girl, what up, bitch? Da 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 da. Most of y'all do. And you can say that it's professional, but you wanting to be accepted because you're not being yourself. So for me, I'm saying the same way that they make you feel when you walk in there in a goddamn corporate company, that's how you make trans people feel. That's how sometimes you make gay people feel. And the fact that you can't accept that this is just somebody's life, really is the only thing that rubs me wrong. And I'm speaking from a place of privilege, because people don't disrespect me. People don't step out of line with me. People don't dig at me for my sexual orientation. So I'm speaking to the people that don't have a voice, the people that are not privileged, that y'all really need to start looking inside yourselves and see what's really wrong. What's the real problem, that y'all are really, really, really bothered by these people's being, just their being, just them, just being them. And that's what kind of throws me off about the whole situation. Again, they are not trying to be you all. These women have been this way forever. And I only speak from that because I've seen from other cultures, Spanish culture, Latino culture, Aztec culture, I think it's Meso-Mexican, like from like the Aztec and the tribal people. They've always accepted a third sex. They've always accepted that there's a male and a female. There's always something in between. If there can be a gay, if there can be a straight, there can be a gay, and there can be something in between the gay. And it's crazy that because of the country that you all were raised in, me too, that we have this warped thought that, oh, it's only black and white. It's only this. But if it could be black and be white, it could be a light skin, it could be in the middle. You got to think about things on the spectrum, y'all. You have to. Because at this point, it's like it's self-destructing from the inside. And I'm only telling y'all that from the Black community because don't nobody else have this in their community. I've watched these communities. Watch gay people, trans people. Ain't nobody like, oh, you a trans, da da da, you a da 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 da. They not doing that. They minding their damn business. And I'm telling y'all, mind y'all damn business. Good night.